Next, let's move on to Ollama. Ollama is a tool that allows you to use large language models on your local machine without internet access. However, it requires high-end hardware to run LLMs locally, especially for large models. The system requirements for using large language models can vary depending on the specific model you wish to use. However, I can provide you with a general idea of what is required. Firstly, the operating system. Ollama is a cross-platform tool, means it can run on Mac OS, Linux or Windows machine. In terms of RAM, you will need at least 8 GB for running 3B models, and 16 GB for running 7B models, and 32 GB for running 13B models. Additionally, it is recommended to have a CPU with at least 4 cores. However, for running 13B model, a CPU with at least 8 cores is recommended for optimal performance. While GPU is not required for running Ollama, it can improve performance, especially for running large models. It is important to note that these are rough ideas of system requirements, and different large language models may have different requirements. However, as a general recommendation, it is best to have at least 16 GB RAM and a GPU for good performance. Now let's install the Ollama. So in the browser, let's open ollama.com and here click this download button. Now here choose the operating system and download the Ollama application and install it as you install regular application. I am on Linux, so let's copy this command, and on the terminal let's run this. Because I have already installed it, so I'm going to skip this. Next, to verify Ollama is properly installed, let's run Ollama on the terminal. If you are on Windows, then run it on PowerShell or command prompt and press enter. And here we get the available commands for Ollama. That means Ollama is properly installed. Next, Ollama serve. Here we get the error because Ollama is already running on this URL. Next, let's configure the Ollama in the VSCode editor. So let's navigate to editor. Here the first option is Ollama server URL, and this is the path where Ollama server is running. We do not need to change it. Next, we need to set the AI model for chat and code generation, and these are the recommendations for chat AI model, and these are the recommendations for autocomplete code generation. However, you can try other large language models according to your preferences. Here on the Ollama website, click on these models. Here are the list of available large language models. For instance, let's say we want to use Llama 3. So let's see this. This model is a 18 billion parameter and its size is 4.7 GB. And here are the other available versions of Llama 3 model. To use this model, we need to first pull it in our local machine. So in the terminal, run Ollama pull and then model name. In our case, that is Llama 3, and paste it here. This command will download the Llama 3 model on our local machine. I have already downloaded it, so I am not going to run it again. Next, we need to add the model name in the spec coder configuration right here. It has already value Llama 3. Great. And similarly for the code generation model, these are the recommended models, and here the default value is CodeGemma 2B. Let's see this in the Ollama website. So here click these models and search for CodeGemma and open this, and here the latest version is 9 billion parameters and its size is 5 GB, but we want to use 2B model and it is 3 billion parameter and its size is 1.6 GB. So to use this, first we need to pull this. So similarly, we need to copy this model name, and in the terminal we need to run Ollama pull CodeGemma 2B. because I have already downloaded it, so I'm not going to run it again. After this, we need to specify this in the Spec Coder configuration right here. Now let's test this. First, in the AI assistant providers, the chat AI assistant provider is Ollama, and also let's select this code AI assistant provider Ollama. Now we have selected the AI assistant providers for both chat and code generation, and also we had configured the Ollama configurations. So now let's test the AI chat. First, let's clear this. So let's ask, what is ESLint? And here we go, we get the proper explanation with AI. Now let's see the auto code completion example also. So let's open the index.ts, and here let's say write a function to sort users using user.id. You can notice it has immediately suggested the auto completion in ascending order. Return an array of users sorted by id. Press tab to accept this suggestion and press enter, and here again autocomplete a suggestion, input and output values. Let's accept this. Now it has suggested the complete code, export function sort users by id. Great. Let's clean this. Now let's generate doc block or doc string for this function. So select this function and press Ctrl Shift P to open command palette, and here search for generate doc string. This one, Spec Coder generate doc string, and press enter. And here it has updated the doc block for this function. Great. You have now seen all the configurations and can select any of the listed AI providers for either chat or code generation based on your preferences. In future, I may add more AI providers to this list. Therefore, I recommend you to subscribe to our channel to stay updated.